Hi, good morning everyone. I've just unpacked the kiln. This is day 30 of the lockdown. So we're thawing out a little bit here. It's a little bit slushy outside, but I was able to unpack the kiln. As you might remember from yesterday's video of the firing, it went really difficult. It was a difficult firing. Some are good, some are easy, some are difficult. Yesterday was difficult, but there's one or two really nice pots coming out of this, and not too much in the way of losses. So here's the kiln opening. Pop that out of the way because that's very expensive. I've broken one of those before and it costs a big money to replace. Well, 48 hours after the fire and it's still pretty warm in there. So I'm just opening the top and letting the heat out. Right, okay, that's the door out. It's always a good idea to take a look at the overall kiln. I don't take the door right down, just so I can reach inside it. But it's good to have a good look at overall, see how the firing's gone. So first of all, check the cones. So that's 5 to cone 10 there in the middle of the shelf, which is very good. You look at the overall colour of the pots. This is reduced here. The top there hasn't reduced very well, but I've never fired pots that high up in that corner before. This has turned out alright, but unfortunately the foot ring's got a crack in it there. Can you see? It's not the end of the world, but I think that's from because it's on 3 props and it's the pressure and weight has split it. These have all gone red this side here. A bit paler this side, so this side's oxidised a little bit, the side of the kiln. You look right down and the glazes are glossy in the bottom. Same again here, look. That should be red, so that's oxidised this side, so there's an oxidation problem going on this side here. It might be the burner port, it might be something else, I don't know, I'll have to think about it. Because on the opposite side it's red, so that's an observation. That's the same glaze, same effect, same treatment with wood ash. One side of the kiln and then the other side of the kiln. So I'm getting oxidation this side here. Now you can either mess around with the kiln and rebuild and move bag walls and move things, or you can put pots that you don't mind being oxidised, like the blackware, on that side of the kiln. It's up to you how you do it. I tend to just be grateful that the kiln reaches temperature and play around with pots and glazes. I want to try some Oribe glazes which need oxidation, so I'll do the Oribe glazes and I'll put them on that side of the kiln and see what happens. You know, everyone has their own preferences. So we'll get these out now and have a look at some individuals. Okay, just as I'm unpacking this now, I've got the front pots out. You can see the difference in oxidation. This is reduced this side, but you can see a flash there where the flame has reduced one side and then oxidised the other. So there's a space across here that's oxidised. Just check a bit further down when I take these kilns out whether it goes right down or whether it's just that top corner. But these have come out just as a thing. These little sort of giveaways for the website are beautiful. Nice little pots in their own right, those, aren't they? Pleased with those. Right, carry on. Also, excuse me. Also, what I do is I collect up the wadding. It goes in a tub. This can always be reused and glue it back on next time. It saves the wastage. So these that's the wadding. Someone asked me in a message, can you reuse the wadding? And the answer is yes, you can. Right, here's an interesting thing as I'm going on. Well, interesting to me, I don't know if it'll be interesting to you. The back corner there is reduced, but the pots here are oxidised, so it seems like there's like a flash of oxidation has gone through this pot as well. Look, it's half and half, and so is that one there. So it's like a stream inside of a kiln. The flame, the plasma in the flame worked more like water, and there's been a stream of oxidized plasma. I think it's oxidized plasma. The oxidized flame has come through there, and it does flow like water. So when you're placing things in the pot, you've got to think about putting things in a stream and how it affects them. So it might just be the placement that forces the oxidization somewhere else, or I don't know. It's all a mystery to me, but very interesting. Okay, let's go. Pots through all that now. Let's go through some of the successes and failures. The first big fail is the big pot. It's cracked all inside there. So that's a garden pot. I can go in the garden. Make the garden look nice. The next thing that came out was the candlestick. And someone's asked me why I wad up my pots, seeing as it's just a gas firing, but you can see by the bottom of here how the ash has run. If I put that straight onto the shelf, this would be adhered to the shelf. The shelf would be ruined and the pot would be ruined. But I can grind that back, and it's perfectly good. And you get really nice runs down it. And if you think about it, the form that helps the run. So if you can echo that form in sort of the neck of a bottle or something, that would be really nice. So there's all these things that go through your mind when you look at pots after they come out. And it's gathered really nicely. I've turned this lip up intentionally to grab the wood ash, and it's done that really well. It's like a glass puddle in there. That's a really nice candlestick. And then next to it was the chalice that I did earlier, and it's run there. You can see how it's run, and it's puddled on the bottom, so it was held on 3 pieces, on 3 wadding there. So that'll just grind off. If it had had 3 runs, it would be great, because it would have 3 little feet, but that's a step too far, I think, to ask. So that's those. This is another one. The reason why we put wadding on, you can see there that it's run, but that'll grind off nice and flat, and that's a really nice pot. Really sort of smooth, satiny temmaku, so I like that one. These are the ones that came out on the right hand side of the kiln. They've gone white as opposed to red. Nothing wrong with them, they're just not what I expected to come out. Right, little tests. This is a temmaku with the nuka over the top. I don't know if you can see it in this sunlight, but that's really nice. So that's something to do again. And someone asked if they could see the one where I dusted the iron on it, and that's it there. And it's run perfectly. I put a little tiny groove in there. I sort of flare it out a little bit just to grab the iron as it runs, and it's done it on both sides. So that's a keeper, that one. I don't think that one will be going out too soon. I need to hang on to that and keep an eye on it. Nice pot. Another one, nuka with the blue underneath. So they all came out alright. 2 examples of the paddled, if you remember the paddled ones I did one with just the basic chino on it, and that's that one. You can see how that's come out. That's really nice. And then the other one is that's with my complicated chino. It's got lots of different elements in it, different parts of the formula. Can't get my words out. This is my chino. This is just nepheline cyanite and ball clay with wood ash sieved on. But that's come out really nice. There's 2 of those. they're good. Like I said a little bit earlier, the little tiny giveaways, they've all come out nicely. The experiment with the blue underneath the black grogged slip, that's worked really well. It started to bleed there. You have to put this on quite thick, but they're really nice. There's 3 of those come out. Nice difference in the texture and the colour. It's almost like a river, isn't it? Anyway, so they come out nice. And these have come out really well. When you remember, this had the black slip underneath, and then the blue cobalt on, and you can see how it sags. So they've come out really nice. Pleased with that. A good example here. My sales plug now, these will be on Etsy soon. See how that's run there. It's just beautiful. Really, really nice pots. Nice and creamy inside. No crawls. That's beauty. So they came out alright. I'm not sure about these ones that I did the impression then put the blue in. I'm thinking about these. That's on quite thick. Some of them are on a bit thin and it's not bled. I've got one where it's worked. This one. This is what I was looking for. Can you see it's run inside there? That's what I was thinking would happen. Those are a bit, I think the glaze is too thin. Still nice pots though. What else? Oh, Jerome's butter dish came out okay. Thank goodness. It's got wood ash on the top. Need a bit of cleaning up on the bottom, but they've come out okay. And finally, there's some temaku in the bottom because they only gets to cone 9. This one here is it's got a bit rough there, so it's slightly under fired. But this is on a clay. Let's find the one that I looked at earlier. This is on a clay that was given to me. They said it would go to temperature, but it started to bubble. So I don't think that would go above cone 9 without it bloating really badly. And it's pinholed in places. I mean, they'll refire. If I ever refire, I never refire pots. They get one chance and that's it. Then they're gone. They go in the bin. But they've come out quite nicely, those. So all in all, I would give this an initial. The initial first impression was. Oh, one more. Haha! Forgot this one. That's one of the rouletted inside pot bowls. That's beautiful. That's a really nice bowl, that came out how I expected it. It's nice when you do your second ones and they come out how you expect them. That means you can carry on and progress with that idea. Anyway, so that's it. So back to what I was just about to say. A 7 out of 10, I think. 6.5, 7 out of 10. Might grow on me a little bit. The oxidation is a bit of a problem, but I've only lost 1, 2, 3, 4 bowls, 4 or 5 little giveaways that, you know, kiln fillers anyway. So all in all, it's been pretty good. This is another thing. This is Jerome's old butter dish that I dropped, and I have got a bucket of glaze in there, and it's not labelled. I didn't know what it was, so I've just put a bit inside this bit of old crock and fired it, and it's actually my snow white glaze. So now I can relabel that pot now. That box, so that big bucket of glaze isn't wasted. I was going to throw it away because I didn't know what it was, but I've tested it and now I know what it is. So happy days. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's it. Not much more from me today, apart from the book reference. And this is the Complete Guide to High Fire Glazes by John Britt. He's probably one of the one of the best glaze technicians, glaze authors, glaze formulators. It's a pretty fundamental book, this. Gives you everything. Really useful. You can see by my bookmark I use it quite a lot. And we tend to, as potters, collect glaze books the way that cooks collect recipe books. I've got quite a few, and you can never sort of walk past one when you see one in a bookshop. Or basically I go to second-hand bookshops, and if I see a glaze book I just buy it. So there it is. John Britt. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. See you all tomorrow.